Hello and welcome to another video. Have you ever considered using a LuT when doing your editing? If you haven't, let's jump in. This is the photograph we're going to be using today. As you can see, it's a bit dark, but there's some nice light bits within it. We're going to be brightening the thing up, and also it's going to have a LuT included in the tutorial, so you can see what effect that has. We'll be doing the usual. What I normally do is in Lightroom Classic and then going on to Photoshop afterwards to finish off. Right, we're in the develop mode, and the first thing we'll do is basically set up the our normal adjustments, which is in this case we've got the histogram on, so you can see what's going on while I'm moving the exposure and the contrast. Dropping down the contrast a bit, the exposure, yeah, we need to kill that off as well. And the highlights, yeah, we'll have to drop those down because of the it's turning the sky blue as well, which is a good thing. And the shadows we can increase a bit to bring some more light, a bit more life back into the photo, and the whites as well, but be very careful because they're going to blow out if we're not careful. So we leave those like that, and the blacks again, they're going to blow out if I bring them, well, they would do if I had the histogram on that side. There you go, it's on now, so you can see that that's going to blow out badly. So what we'll do is we'll draw them back to remove. Texture, bring a bit of texture up. There is a bit more, it is blown out a bit with the blacks, but I can live with a bit of it. I can live with a bit of the whites being overexposed as well, but so I don't have to get rid of them totally, because if you do, sometimes I think you take a bit away from the picture. Vibrance will increase, because looking at the background here more than the foreground. Right, okay. What I'll do next is we'll go on to the size of the photo. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring it in, holding the Alt key down so we can bring both sides in at the same time. So we can get basically a 6x4 going. Then take your finger off the Alt key and you can move it. Once you've got it in what you think is the right sort of size, we can live with that, I think. So what we'll do now is if I just press enter, and then what we want to do is go and make sure that it is a 6x4. So what we do is we click back on the cropping tool, and then under custom, drop it down, 6x4. There you go. It's actually a bit narrower than I thought, but we've got the gist of it anyway. Just readjust it again. That's not bad, we'll leave it there, and then double click that, and now we're ready to go. And now we can see exactly what we've got. Excuse me. Now we've got down to there, the next job is going to go into your details and hit the denoise. This one's at 125 ISO, so it's not too bad, it's pretty good. But as I said before, what I tend to do is I tend to set 50 as the, if it's on 100, 50 I use on the denoise preview there. So that's on 125. So if that's the case, just a tad above it. Whether I'm doing it the right way, I don't know, but that's what I do. You, again, as I've said before, you can do exactly what you want to do. It's all up to you. It's down to your interpretation. Right, that's just working. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to I think what I'll do is let's go on to the LuTs on the left hand side. You've got on your left hand side of the screen, you've got your presets, and underneath that you'll find under here, if we can go into, you've got favourites, which are ones that I've selected as my favourite, and the one I'm going to use, I'm not sure if that one's in there. No, it's not actually. But some of these, if you hold your cursor over the top, this is showing with the. Let me turn this off for a minute, the histogram, so you can get a better idea. Click over there. This is what it does to the photo. Gives you different looks. So in theory, you can still adjust them. So what you do is when you click on one, which I will do in a minute when I get to the one that I actually want to use. There you go. You've got black and white there. All sorts of different ones. Some of them really nice effects. Anyway, the one I'm going to use is, if I can find it down here, which I think I can, is this one here. Now that one is under the style of cinematic and it's CN08 is the one I've used. So what I'm going to do with this now, we've now applied that LuT by just clicking on it. What you can do with it, if you so wish, at the top of the page there is a slider with the amount. When it's set at 100, you can add more to that. You can see what it does. It adds saturation to the image, or you can reduce it, which basically puts it back to its original state. So let's put that back to 100, which is what it's set to on here. It gives us something to sort of work on, really. There you go. So that's on 100. Now the sky is still not to my liking. I like what it's done to the trees in the background, being it's autumn time. It looks quite nice. We need to brighten up these sides, and we need to sort the sky out. So let's go straight into the masking first of all. And we'll hit on the sky, and that should load the sky up, so you should see where the masking is going to take effect from. There you go, it's all in place there. And then you can do, again, it's all down to taste. You just do what you need to do with the sliders. It's very easy to do, to go over the top, because I'm not a very good, I go over the top with them quite a lot, and I shouldn't do really, I know that, but there you go, it is what it is. It's trying to put a bit of life back into the sky, like in the previous video we spoke about, really. This one's probably blown out too much to do that with, but we'll just play around with these sliders a bit and we'll see where we end up. So, if you bear with me. Then what I'll do now is, let's try doing something else. If we go down here and we go to that sky, and we, on this actual, the small icon underneath, if you click on that and then hold the Alt key down, intersect mask with linear gradient. I think that's worked. Yeah, that's just affecting the sky now, that's not affecting the... Yes, it is. No, that should do it. Yeah, because you can see what I'm doing. I'm moving that slider, and all it's doing is it's using that, just that gradient that I've just put in there. So that's just adjusting it a bit more if I want to. So what we'll try and do, we'll try and get some colour into it somehow. Whether we can is another thing. I can do a sky replacement, as you all well know, but I'm just seeing if this is going to work. There's a little bit of colour in there, so we can live with that for now, I think. Right. Then what we'll do is just have another one. Let's go on to the plus, and we'll set up another linear gradient. And what we're going to do with this one is from the side of the photo, what we want to do is brighten up this dark piece just a little bit. So we go into our exposure, and we can increase that slightly. If you want it a bit more harsh, the edge rather than too soft, what you can do is bring it over and pull that back and go on the red mark as the back as the main part of the mask. Contrast, we want that. Let's play with that, see what that does. Let's put that back a bit more. No, and the contrast, we want that. No, I'm being an idiot. I'll take it a little bit further out, I think, and then push the whole thing back to the side. Highlights are okay. That's going to play with us as well. Let's bring the shadows down. The white's just a fraction. And the blacks, we don't really want to play with those. This gives us a bit more yellow in there. What that does is bring some more of that lovely orange colour into it. Now what we'll do is we'll go into another linear gradient, and we'll take it from the other side and we'll bring that, covering the dark areas really, because we just want to bring the picture down by making it a bit brighter where it's dark, if that makes any sense, just to give a bit more a bit more life to the whole screen. This one we can bring back again. It makes it look silver on the edge. Actually, I quite like the look of that. When this opens up, it will continue. Right, it's now opened up in Photoshop, and this has transferred everything from Lightroom into Photoshop. You can put it back into Lightroom if you wanted to. We don't today, but I will be showing you how to do that at some point whenever you're interested. Right, let's have a look up here. This is the area that I'm not over happy with. We're mucking around with the areas. Just need to make that more blue, really. Let's just try first of all. We've got the sometimes I can't move that, so I have to. Right, let's see if we can adjust some of this. I've not practiced this, as you can tell, but we'll see what happens. Oh, look, that actually worked. Put it in the middle, bring it back to size, workable size. Now that's made that a lot better up there, if you can see that. You know, I've gone over there fairly quickly. If you take your time out and do it, you can do it a lot better than I can. But it's well worth a go just to finish those edges off. If you look at that there, that actually doesn't look too bad now. It looks quite nice. And then if you want just to finish off the photo, once you've done that, there's a couple of other things you can do. You can go up and get your curves, for example. So you can click on I'm going down to curves, and then bring your thing down. Give it a bit of, no, let's go up first. It always uses a bit better, the lightning. Onto there like that. Bring it just below that horizontal line, Control and I to invert it. And then what you need to do, get your brush, increase your size or whatever size you deem real for doing it, and then just give it a bit of lighting. It's not everywhere. We can readjust this as well, as I've said before, into the water. It just helps giving it a bit more. Makes it look nicer, I think. They look nice there, they do. I like that with the grey silvery colour with the orange. It looks nice. And then what we can then do is go up to your opacity. It's strong in places, I know that. So what we do is now we just bring it down. There you go. That looks a lot better. Back to there. Select all. Edit. Stroke. Onto the colour. Let's use that one. I'll click on that one, see what it looks like. Put it back anyway. I'll probably use white in a minute. Still on 20. Okay. There it goes. Control D, deselect the lines, and there you go. You've got a different border. If you want to make it a thick border, go down to your stroke again. Let's go for white. Yes, I'm going to probably use that anyway. You can just increase your width, 200 for example. I think that's about the max you can do. I'm not sure. Set to inside under location. Okay, you can make a double border if you want, and it comes up like that. Deselect, marching ants, and you've got a large border instead. Right, yeah, thank you very much for that. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll speak to you I'll see you on the next video. What I'll do is I'll put the two pictures up before and after, just so you can see. Thank you. Just remember, if you want to use the LuTs, they're on the left hand side by the presets, and as you can see from here, there's loads and loads of them, and they're all in categories, so it's worth a look.